அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல
உபாசகானாம் யதுபாசனீயம் உபாத்தவாசம் வடசாகிமூலே தத்தாம தாக்ஷிண்யஜுஷா ஸ்வமூர்த்யாம் ஜாகர்த்து சித்தே மம போதரூபம் அத்ராக்ஷம் அக்ஷீணதயாநிதானம் ஆச்சார்யம் ஆத்யம் வடமூலபாகே மௌனேன மந்தஸ்மிதபூஷிதேன மஹர்ஷிலோகஸ்ய தமோனுதந்தம் வித்ராவிதாசேஷதமோகணேன முத்ராவிசேஷேண முहुर्முனீனாம் நிரஸ்யமாயாம் தயயா விதத்தே தேவோ மகான்ஸ்தத்வமசீதி போதம் மமாத்ய தேவோ வடமூலவாசி கிருபா விசேஷாத் கிருத சந்நிதானஹ ஓங்காரரூபாம் உபதிஷ்ய வித்யாம் ஆவித்யகத்வாந்தமபாகரோது அபார சச்சித் சுகவாரிராசேஹ யஸ்யோர்மிமாத்ரம் புவனம் சமஸ்தம் குஹாஹிதம் தம் ரமணம் கபீரம் சிந்தாவிஹீனம் ஹிருதி சிந்தயாமி தேஹம் ரிண்மயவஜ்ஜடாத்மகமஹம் புத்திர்ன தஸ்யாஸ்த்யதோ நாஹம் தத்ததபாவசுப்திசமயே சித்தாத்மசத்பாவதः கோஹம் பாவயுதः குதோ வரதியா திருஷ்ட்வாத்மனிஷ்டாத்மனாம் सोहम स्फूर्तितया अरुणाचलशिवः पूर्णो विभाति स्वयम् ஓர் நினைவு அறவே என்றும் எவர்க்கும் இயல்பாய் உள்பொருளை ஒன்றும் உளத்தில் உணர்ந்து நிலை நின்றிடாது உண்டின்று உருவருவென்று ஒன்றிரண்டு என்றென்றே சண்டை-இடல் மாயை சழக்கு ஒழிக. ஓர் நினைவு அறவே என்றும் எவர்க்கும் இயல்பாய் உள்பொருளை. ஆக்சுவலி இட் இஸ் உள்பொருள். தமிழில் உளப்பொருள்னு போட்டிருக்கோம் நம்ம, அது பழைய இதில் பிரிண்டில். உள்பொருளை உணர்ந்து உள் ஒன்றும் உளத்து நிலை நின்றிடாது உண்டு இன்று உரு அரு என்று ஒன்று இரண்டு அன்று என்று. If you have some teeth which is already shaking, it will fall. சண்டை-இடல் மாயை சழக்கு. So this is also a very, very important verse. Or ninaivu arave. This is the connecting link of this verse. Last verse, what is it? Tatvamasi, kindly. நவேத்ம்யஹம் மாம் உதவேத்ம்யஹம் மாம் இதி பிரவாதோ மனுஜஸ்ய ஹாஸ்யஹ திருக்திருஷ்யபேதாத் கிமயம் த்விதாத்மா ஸ்வாத்மைகதாயாம் ஹி தியாம் ந பேதாஹ. That is the Sanskrit of the last verse. என்னை அறியேன் நான், என்னை அறிந்தேன் நான். Neither can you say I know, nor can you say I do not know. When Bhagavan came to Tiruvannāmalai, see Bhagavan's life, you can see the full traveling, but very quick. Nothing is left out, but very quick, like a rocket. Because in a 1 month, his life demonstrated everything of the spiritual life. Bhagavan's work is Upadesha Saram. Upadesha means spiritual teaching. Saram means the essence. The entire essence of spiritual teaching is given in it. It contains karma, it contains bhakti, it contains upasana, it contains jnanam, it contains pranayama, yoga vidya, everything. But generally when we see Bhagavan, it is only that Jivan Mukti, Jnanam. Not even Shankaracharya. It is like Gaudapadacharya. Na nirodho na ja utpattihi na baddho na ja satakaha. Na mumukshur na vai muktaha. Ityesha paramarthata. That state Bhagavan lived and had his being. No vyavahara. So, but the teaching, everything happens. Like first, the initiation of mantra. Generally, spiritual life is like that. First thing, the unlocking of spiritual life is the mantra comes to you. And in Bhagavan's life also, first the mantra came, Arunachalam. He heard Arunachalam, woke up. And not the outside mantra. Somebody utters the mantra, but the mantra he was already carrying in his being. There are many instances where a person gets initiated from a guru, and the guru initiates him the mantra. Suddenly he remembers, yesterday dream I had the same initiation. And now he is initiating me the same mantra. This story again and again happens in the in many stories of Ramakrishna's direct disciples like Swami Shivananda or Swami Brahmananda. Both of them, they had many disciples, and many of them have said before getting the mantra initiation, they had the dream. The same dream mantra was initiated by Guru. Before that, they had a dream in which they were initiated, and then the Guru next day initiates, or after some days. Swami Ranganathanandaji, in fact, I had very close association with him. He was, of course, many people will say that after Swami Vivekananda in that Ramakrishna order, he was the most well-known spiritual teacher in that tradition. So he belongs to Thrissur. He had a vision in his childhood that Shiva is sitting in Kailas. And he goes near Shiva, and Shiva is telling him, sit here. And Shiva is giving him some mantra. This was his vision. At the age of 15 or 16, he went away from his home, and in Ooty, Ramakrishna Mati joined, where Swami Shivananda was there. Shivananda in the sense, not Rishikesh Shivananda, many people do not know. Ramakrishna's direct disciple, Swami Shivananda. He was the second president of that order. He was called Mahapurush Maharaj. So that Swami Vivekananda used to call him as Mahapurush. So it was called Mahapurush. So he gave initiation to Swami Ranganathananda. And he later on said, the same scene was repeated. The same scene of I was getting initiated by Shiva, the same situation, same something like that, awakened. So it is just a confirmation from outside. The Atma is initiating. It is your own self which is initiating, but it comes out outside as the Guru. Antas chaitanya rupena guru rupena yo bahihi. Bhasade Shuddhabodham Tam Deshikam Ramanam Bhaje. He is inside as the Chaitanya, outside as Guru. So this mantra in Bhagavan's life, he was carrying that mantra Arunachalam. That was his mantra. And someone comes and says, where are you coming from? He said, Arunachalam. Bhagavan just went into ecstasy, forgot the body, mind, everything. Two things Bhagavan says. He never says Japam. He says two things. One is Payar Ninaikal. The other is Namam Kelkal. These are the two things which he uses. Payar Ninaital Namam Kelkal. Anbodu un Namam. Enna? Anbodu, enna paattu? Anbodu Namam Kelkum. Anbartham Anbarkku Anbanayida Arunachala. So Namam Kettar. Listening to the Nama with so much love. The very hearing of the Nama you melt. And Payar Ninaithidave Pidithidithanai. Recollection of the name. You do japam so that inwardly it will become slowly recollection of the name. You have the name, you start recollecting the name in the mind again and again. Then inwardly also you listen to the Nama with anbu, with love. Anbodu Namam Kelpar. So you are not listening from outside, you are listening from your own heart repeating the mantra. As there is a song in Marathi, Jnanadeva says, Jnanadeva Mauna. Says Jnanadeva is in now Mauna. Japamala Antari. The rosary is inside. And Panduranga is doing japa. Says Panduranga is repeating his own Nama. And Namadeva is listening. Exactly like that, Bhagavan's life also, he was carrying that Nama Arunachalam in his heart without knowing. This is what we say, in past birth you have done so much sadhana. People ask, oh, already I am very old, so much I have done japa, what will happen if I die? You will carry that very Nama to next birth. And that Nama will shine forth much more powerfully in your heart. Nothing will be lost in spiritual life. Arjuna asked this question, will my spiritual sadhana practices, everything will be lost? Nothing will be lost. This is not a single birth. One who says this single birth alone is there, is an astika. He will again and again come to me, says Yama. Ayam logo nasti para itimani punah punaha vashamapadyate me. So, this Nama, Bhagavan was carrying in his heart. He heard it from outside and he was transported. See, he had so much bhakti, love for that Nama. That is why Aksharamana Mala also he starts with Arunachalam. Actually, every book used to write Arunachalam. That was his usual way. If someone goes with a book, Bhagavan writes something, he will write Arunachalam. When they were going for Giri Pradakshina, one of the devotee, he was carrying a paper and pencil. When Bhagavan was slowly walking, doing Giri Pradakshina, his mind completely riveted in the self. This person gave the paper and pencil. And Bhagavan, as usual, wrote Arunachalam. And from that came the song, Arunachalam ena ahame ninaipavar ahattai vera rupai Arunachalam. It is his autobiography. He says, when you think about Arunachalam, what happens? Your ego goes. And Arunachalam is aham. Arunachalam shines forth as your Atma. So this is Bhagavan's autobiography. So after this, then comes the death experience. Marananubhava, in which he attained realization. But realization also happened inside him, but it needed confirmation from an outer guru. An Upadesha is needed outside. For that, he was pulled from Madurai to Tiruvannamalai. Because he has already heard, where is my guru? Adu Tiruvannamalai oruvaral arivurappatru. He says, he simply told me it is Tiruvannamalai. So I had to travel to Tiruvannamalai. Aruginilirka, when I came near, there was, the mind was still. Achalama kandeen. The yoga sthiti was there. And then this question arose, Atma Vichara. Kandavan yavanana karuttin ulnada kandavan indrida niṇṛḍu kandeen. In the presence of Arunachala, this who am I woke up. That is what in Aksharamana also Bhagavan says, Tirumbi aham tanai dinamaha kankan. Theriyumendranayan Arunachala. Bhagavan says, Arunachala spoke to me. He told me, turn inward and incessantly see your real self, aham tanai. See the I within you, and you will come to know, you will wake up, you will realize. This is Arunachala's Upadesha. So, the thoughts were quelled. In that song, Bhagavan says, Kandanan endrida karuthelavillai. I could not say, I have seen you. Nor could I say, I have not seen you. Kandilan endrida karuthelumaren. You yourself as Dakshinamurti kept quiet. Pandini vindilai vilakkinai endral. Without Vindal is talking. That is why in Malayalam we say Mindal. That becomes Mindal. But Vindilai vilakkinai endral. நம்ம தமிழ்லாம் யூஸ் பண்ணுறதில்லை இல்லையா? மலையாளத்தில் பழைய தமிழ்லாம் மலையாளத்தில் பார்த்தா கிடைக்கும். விண்டிடாது உன் நிலை விளக்கின என்று, without uttering a word to reveal your state, vindalam achalama vilangidan indra, you remained achalam. It also means hill, it also means still, maunam. So, this is the essence of last song. And this 34th song, 34th verse, without any thought in the mind. This is the connecting link. Niṇḍṛiḍā. Any sadhana is for that. See, samsara means what mind? Nothing else. Thinking. No samsara is experience outside. All samsara is mind. Everything is felt in the mind. And if the mind becomes quiet, no samsara. Too much thinking is a samsari. He is not doing this. In Malayalam, samsara means talking. So the outside talk is not there, but the mind is talking. Somebody told in Malayalam, samsara means talking. In Tamil, wife means talking. Some secret is there. This. So, the outside mind, even though is not, inward mind is talking. Okay, so when the mind is quiet, there is no samsara. In deep sleep also no samsara. Shankaracharya says in Mandukya Karika Bhashyam, Sushupti Samadhi Muktanam Samsara Abhavat. In Sushupti also no samsara. In Samadhi state also no samsara. For Mukta also no samsara. In Sushupti, for everyone no samsara. In Samadhi, for the yogi, no samsara. That is one way the yogi finds out. The way, do not think. That is the secret. But that is temporary. The Samadhi, you cannot remain always in Samadhi. That is why people find out easy Samadhi. Or become unconscious, some drug, something. So that samsara you can feel. Or simply looking at mobile, nothing. Even if pralaya happens, he will not come to know. That is also a samadhi now. They do not know anything. So eṉṭṟum, the thing is, parohi yogaha manasas samadhihi. Bhagavata says, the greatest yoga is the state where the mind is in samadhi. Samadhi means it is in the Atma, it is abiding in the self. And consciously abiding is a Jivan Mukta. The thing is, you can use either the method of yoga or the method of jnanam. In Upadesha Saram, Bhagavan says, if you use the method of yoga, you remove the method, mind will again operate. Layam vinasha. Laya vinashane. Ubhaya rodhane. Layagatam punaha bhavati no mritam. But you need some temporary method. Gaudapadacharya says, if you cannot go to jnanam, you have to first do yoga. Manaso nigrahayattam abhayam sarvayoginam. Then only you will be fearless in yoga sthiti. But when you wake up slowly, from yoga samadhi, slowly the mind will wake up. But jnana samadhi is, even while the mind is active, the mind is absorbed with the knowledge of oneness, that Atma alone exists, nothing else exists. Manasai vedam aptavyam, nehana nasti kinchana. The Upanishad says, with the mind you know that plurality do not exist. Many do not exist. Only one exists. One non-dual truth alone exists. It is appearing as everything. When that knowledge becomes perfect, Gaudapadacharya says, he has no mind. He has no prana. He has no body. Because his body is also Atma. His prana is also Atma. His mind is also Atma. Any movement in him, his ego is also Atma. His Jagrat is Atma, Sopnam is Atma, Sushupti is Atma. Not a little bit of impurity is there in him, says Gaudapadacharya. Vaisharadyam tu vainasti bhede vicharatam sada. Vaisharadyam means purity. Purity is not for him who has Bhed Buddhi. Difference. But when this Vaidharmya, speciality is removed. See, this is one secret. When you have speciality towards something, somebody, the mind will think about it. Any kind of speciality, that is Vaidharmya. Any kind of speciality somewhere, raga or dvesha, the mind will think about it. So that way is remove all speciality. And very complex method Gaudapadacharya employs, Alati Shanti Prakaranam, where he says nobody is born. And philosophically, the argument goes to such a state that there is no creation, nothing is born, nobody is living, nobody is going to die, there is nothing in the self. Bhagavan very often used to refer to this shloka, na nirodho, na ja utpattihi, na baddho, na cha sadhakaha, na mumukshur, na vai muktaha, ityesha paramarthata. So there is no duality at all. No creation, no dissolution, nothing. Only that Atma, self exists, whether you know it or not, in every form, in every emotion, in every thought. It is only Atma, Atma, Atma. Ajati samatam gatam. This is Ajati, no janana, samatam gatam. There is absolute samatvam there. And that knowledge, the person becomes liberated. There is, because he has no speciality anywhere. Nobody is born. What speciality? And I do not exist. Who is gay? Who am I? Becomes complete there. Because no I. Who is thinking? Thinker is also that. Thought is also that. Sometimes when it's too much Advaitam, in the beginning people will feel some difficulty when they listen to this. But this is Gaudapadacharya's way of removing all the source, cause of bondage. Ninaiva arave. Here Bhagavan, many places in talks, very informally, casually Bhagavan says that the secret is thoughtlessness. This everybody knows. That is why we see TV, we see cinema, hear song, and many people will say, we will forget everything for the time being. They know this. So employ something. Once, Master Maharshi, Ramakrishna's gospel, author of gospel, he and other devotees were taking Ramakrishna in a horse chariot through the Calcutta street. Suddenly the chariot stopped. And they saw 3-4 drunkards, full, intoxicated, dancing. And generally, their cloth, everything will be in the street. They were all dancing in the street. And these devotees were little bit feeling bad. They are taking a great saint. And suddenly they found Ramakrishna is with them. He was also dancing with them. They are all dancing and he is also dancing, and see, good, good. You have found a way to forget the world. But do not stop here. Go forward, go forward. A little bit it goes. What world, what family? Nothing. All gone. In Malayalam we say, Ellolam. Means a little like a sesame seed. It goes. But not the wills. Ellolam Padacchēdam Bhulogam Tarikita Thakradai. The world is gone. The world is all diluted. So go forward. So everything is like that, you just try to forget the world. Ninaiva arave, not to think, because thought is bondage. The only difference between Jnana Margam and Yoga Marga is you have to remove the cause of Chitta Vritti. Actually, yogis also accept that. We don't know why Yoga Pratyuktaha. Yoga is being opposed there. It's not really opposition, it is just Siddhanta. So there, Yoga Sutra Patanjali says avidya. From avidya only the ego comes, asmita. From that ragadvesha, attachment and aversion. Then abhinivesha, the desire, ambition to live, to fight, to survive. Klesha, these are all stream, current of suffering, misery. And the cause, root cause is avidya, ignorance. So what is the ignorance? Many things other than Atma exists. This all sitting before me is this name, that name, all separation and speciality and mind thinks. The mind is born. So, Shankaracharya in their Bhashya says, Chittatvam. Their Chittatvam happens. The Chit becomes Chitta. It is not Chittatvam, it is Chitta. The Chitta happens there, the mind happens there. So, Ninaiva arave, without any thought, to abide in that thoughtless state. You can use yoga, but along with that, you have to do this jnana vichara also. Then only it will become Purnam. Everything is, when you see everything as Ishvara, then no bandha, no bondage. Ishavasyam idam sarvam. So, eṉṭṛum evarkkum iyalbāy uḻaporuḻai. Always and to all that reality which is ever attained as their very nature. Iyalbā is a beautiful word in Tamil. Iyalbā means natural. Nature is iyarkai. So iyalbā, natural. That which is very, very natural to all is this I am. Nothing else is same to all. Only Bhagavan is same to all. Samoham sarva bhuteshu. Krishna says in Gita, I am same to all. I am same with all. I have given me fully to everybody. But what to do? Some person is doing puja, some person is not doing puja. Ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya maite teshuta chapyam. That puja is what? Take the mind towards the self and abide there. Recognize that the Atma is Brahma, Ishvara. That is not happening. That is why they are suffering. The solution is given to them, but they are not using it. So, eṉṭṛum, always, evarkkum, for everybody. iyalbāy uḻaporuḻai, that which is natural. oṇṭṛum uḻattu ουλarndu nilai niṇḍṛiḍā. Or ninaivu arave, devoid of a single thought, oṇṭṛum uḻattu, by merging the mind in the heart. uṇarndu, simply the mind, deep sleep also it merges. Like that it will not do. uṇarndu, you have to awaken, become aware. Know what it is. uṇarndu nilai niṇḍṛiḍā, you have to abide there. You have to abide there. That abidance has to happen. Nilai niṇḍṛiḍā, uṇdu, iṇṭṛu, uru, aru, eṉṭṛu. Unnecessary debate. Someone says it is there, someone says it is not there. See, ordinary people, for them God is something which you can debate. Some people say there is no God. Just like Hiranyakashipu asking, is there God in the pillar? Like that they ask, is there God in that temple? And the Nastika says, there is no God. The true devotee is his bhakti, he feels the bhakti. The other group, they are also actually nothing countable. They also say, there is God. And Recently I heard very funny thing. It is much more funnier than Nastikam. Some people say, as written, that one person said that in that Shiva temple there is no Shiva. And suddenly a Shula appeared and it drove him. He started running everywhere. Such news they spread. And people will crowd to that temple. And somebody will keep some Shula also. So creating belief. Somehow create belief by bluff. That is it. And it will not stand. eṉṭṛum evarkkum iyalbāy uḻaporuḻai ஓர் நினைவும் இன்றி நினைவு அறவே ஒன்றும் உளத்துள் ஒன்றும் ஒன்றுபட become one with ulattul in the heart niṇḍṛiḍā, one has to nil, one has to stay still in the heart. Uṇdu indru uru aru, it is there, it is not there. Bhagavan is with form, Bhagavan is, what does it matter? There are many mysteries in spiritual life. Sometimes you worship God with form and the person attains Brahmajnana. Sometimes you do japam of a mantra, the person attains self-knowledge, atmanubhuti. Many are the cases. They employ some saguna sakara bhakti, but what attains? They attain nirguna nirakara sakshatkara. Vidyaranya says this is samvadi brahma. You see something, you think it is a fire and go there, but you get a jewel. Beneficiary illusion. That is what they call beneficiary illusion. It appears as an illusion, but when you approach, it gives you great benefit, great blessing. So, caṇḍaiyiḍal māyaic caṛakku oழிga. Here Bhagavan says, be free of it. Unnecessarily don't argue, this is right, that is right. When Master Maharshi went to Ramakrishna, first time, that was the only time he argued with Ramakrishna. He's a very humble devotee, but he was a modern educated person. The way you go to your guru is a magic. They were just coming to Calcutta for some work. And suddenly his friend, he says, there is a garden here, we will go for a walk. Rani Rasamani has made a garden on the bank of Ganga, we will go for a walk. So they go there. And the other person suddenly says, I have heard there is a Paramahamsa here. Why don't we go and see him? So they go there. When they go there, one maid servant was standing. They asked, can we enter his room? Nobody was there. Can we enter his room? He might be doing Sandhya Vandana or something. That lady said, nothing like that, you go. Children, you go. She said, you can enter, go. So they go inside. Then they start having a talk. Where are you coming from? Like many things he speaks. After that, Master asks him, Mahendranath Gupta, he asks him, is God without form or with form? And is it not bad that we worship God with form? We should teach people that God is not with form. Then Ramakrishna said, you Calcutta people, the so-called modern educated people, you have only one work, teaching others and convincing them. You yourself do not know anything. You have not got the truth yourself. You have not experienced it yourself. And you in Bengali he says, you have no place to sleep. You call everybody, come to my house. So unnecessarily, caṇḍaiyiḍaḻ, why do you argue? He can be worshipped and experienced in any form. Māyaic, it is time waste. Bhagavan says this is great maya. Unnecessarily talking, there is a form, there is formless. His dispute is a delusion of Maya. Ojiga, be free of it. So a sadhaka should, especially in Bhakti Sutra, Narada says, Tarkad Vado Navalambya. He says, do not have any vada. Do not argue. It is not the way of bhakti. So, Vado Navalambya. Atman is the ever attained reality. Iyalbāy means spontaneous or natural, sahaja, here, now. That is it, iyalbāy. You are not taking time to attain it. It is there, here, now. The experience of I is available to all. In fact, I am is the only experience that is constant for all. This experience of I am must be held in the ambit of inner vision. One should not ignore this or take it casually. One should learn to adore this experience with reverential attention and soulful meditation. With constant reflection, one must learn to stay in that state of simple existence, the I am. This constitutes jnana tapas. The self-luminous consciousness remains unchanged in all states for all. One who has known this unchanging substratum will be established in the unshakable yoga. In Gita, Bhagavan says, avikampa yoga. Avikampena yogena yujyate natra samshayaha. For one who has experienced this reality, distinctions like inner, outer, one, two, and truth, untruth all become meaningless. The jnani is not inclined towards any kind of argument. The jnani is like a bee that drinks the nectar of self-experience in silence. The bee drones only till it gets honey. Once it starts sipping honey, it becomes still. So too one who is established in that uninterrupted eternal experience will not enter into any argument. The Swatma Sukhi, the one who is happy in himself, remains indifferent and silent even when debates go on around him. This commentary is also named Swatma Sukhi. Sometimes even the most sincere sadhakas who have undertaken vows like sannyasa for the purpose of gaining enlightenment are overtaken by Shastra Vasana. They diligently study various doctrines such as Advaita, Advaita, Vishishta Advaita, etc. And later on, forgetting their original aspiration, gets involved in unending debates. Self-realization can be obtained only by the eradication of the ego. But it is obvious that debates can only lead to the fattening of the ego and distraction of the mind. Narada gives a word of warning in Bhakti Sutra, Vado Navalambya. So this is, the Upanishad also says, Tamevaikam janatha atmanam, anya vacho vimunjatha, amritasesha setuhu. This is the direct bridge to immortality. Know only that Atman. So Māyaic is Maya Moham. There is a song, poetry here. Is it dual or non-dual? This or that? Thus to dispute is delusion. In the inexpressible beyond, one or two, who is there to speak? Somebody said about bhakti, there is no question of Dvaita or Vishishta Advaita or even Advaita, because it is love. Even normal love, when you feel, how can you say the love is one or two? When the feeling of love, when you feel love, how can you say one love or two? Nothing is there in that. No time, no space, nothing. So in the inexpressible beyond, one or two, who is there to speak? If there is no two, then how to speak about the one? Dvaita Advaita Vivarchita. Lalita Sasanam also, that Nama is there. Dvaita Advaita Vivarchita. So the wise remain silent without allowing the mind to rise. Do not allow the thoughts to take form as this or that. Any volition stirs the pool of the mind and thoughts arise. Be the self, here and now, and forget clean all that is not the self. Mere thought of the non-self disturbs the pristine purity of silence. Neither deny nor accept, but abide in the self naturally, with all the gentleness of a bubble that falls back to the ocean. So this is the song. The next verse is also very important. We will read it. Siddhigaḻ-ē uḻaporuḻai. Eṉṭṛum evarkkum iyalbāy uḻaporuļ தான் அங்க கரெக்ட். உளப்பொருளை சித்தமாய் உள்பொருள் இங்கே தான் வருது. சித்தமாய் உள்பொருளை தேர்ந்திருத்தல் சித்தி, பிற சித்தியெல்லாம் சொப்பனமார் சித்திகளே. நித்திரை விட்டு ஓர்ந்தால் அவை மெய்யோ, உண்மை நிலை நின்று பொய்மை தீர்ந்தார் தியங்குவரோ தேர்ந்திரு நீ. என்றும் எவர்க்கும் இயல்பாய் உளப்பொருளை ஒன்றும் உளத்துள் உணர்ந்து நிலை நின்றிடாது. உண்டின்று ฎṟuruvaruveṉ ஒன்றிரண்டு என்று சண்டையிடல் மாயை சழக்கு ஒழிக. உன்றியுளம் சித்தமாய் உள்பொருளை தேர்ந்தெடுத்தல் சித்தி, பிற சித்தியெல்லாம் சொப்பனமார் சித்திகளே. Siddhi, when we speak about Siddhi, they say Ashtama Siddhi. Many people speak that is the sign of spiritual attainment. That is what people think. In Tamil Nadu, many this kind of imagination is there. The Siddha is always, he can do so many miracles. Once with some devotees, we were going to Skandashrama. And Skandashrama, one person was standing taking class to another person. In that Ramana irundar. Skandashrama, he was saying, Ramana Guru Seshadri Swami. He himself is posting. Ramana Guru Seshadri Swami. Avarku Guru Guhaya Namah Guhaya Namah was 300-400 years back. Avarku Guru Guhaya Namah Guhaya Namah Kudu vittu Kudu Payara Vidyallam theriyum. Kudu vittu Kudu Payar means, Kudu means actually nest. It means leaving one body and entering another body. This Siddhi Guhaya Namah had. And Seshadri Swami also had this Siddhi. But Ramana adala moyarchi panni paatara avarukkellam varala. He says Ramana Maharshi also tried all that, but nothing happened to him. Leaving one body. Bhagavan did not have a body at all to do that, first of all. So this is the way these people think, And it is, see, anima, Mahima, Lagima, Garima, Prapti, Prakamyam, Ishitvam, Vashitvam. These are the 8 siddhis. And generally, you know what they say, Anima means, the person, what they say is, nobody has till today seen such a siddhi. becoming like an atom. What is the use? First of all, you just think about it. By some power, occult power, you become like an atom. Perhaps the terrorists, they can use it to go somewhere. And Mahima, becoming huge, very big. And Lagima, like cotton, very weightless. That will be really useful. And Garima is becoming heavy like a mountain. And Prapti, whatever you desire, you will get. Perhaps that is Prakamya. These are all there. Ishitva, Vashitva. Ishitva is that godhood, controlling, and controlling others is Vashitva. There are mantras like that. Vashikuru, Vashikarana mantra. And sometimes, Vashikarana means attracting. And attracting what? Money. Some yantra is put under the earth and money will come. Dhanakarshana Bhairava yantra. Something like that. So these kind of things people imagine. One day I had a intuitive feeling, there is some other meaning should be given to this Ashtasiddhi. This happened because I saw some Siddhi in Bhagavan's direct disciples. They were all jnanis, enlightened beings. They were there, but people will not observe them. Till when they are alive, nobody will notice them. Especially when those whom I saw, Kunjuswami was there. Now when I say Kunjuswami, people say, oh, you have seen Kunjuswami. But when he was there, nobody was bothering. When Kanakama was there, nobody. Kanakama will come evening to Bhagavan's hall when Parayanam will be there. In 2010 only she died. That great, grand dropping of the body on Bhagavan's Jayanti day. Veda Parayana was happening in the Sannidhi. Yes. So, when she was there, she will come to ashram and sometimes some Westerners, sometimes some other gurus, all will come self-realized, putting board and with all disciples. One person was asking me, do you think this person is realized? That person is realized. Kanakama was going in front of him, not at all seeing. And he also knows that she is a direct disciple of Bhagavan, everything, but nothing attractive. She goes every day, quietly sits there, goes back, peaceful. No attraction. That is, I found out it is anima. I found out it is anima because it's so subtle that you don't fall into drishti. Drishti is not there. Nobody sees, oh, you can have very peaceful life because nobody will notice or bother about you. If you have that siddhi by the power of jnanam, then that is useful spiritually. Then mahima. Mahima is that spiritual knowledge. The real mahima is the knowledge of the self, where you have true mahima, glory. Then laghima. The more and more internalize the knowledge, you have great lightness in life. In fact, Yoga Shastra also says, Lagutvam arogyam alolupatvam varna prasada swara saushtavam. The body becomes so light. That is health, the sign of health. Like that, spiritually also you become so light. No ego, you can move with anybody, friend of all, everywhere. That is laghima. So this siddhi is also very important. And garima, it is not becoming heavy. Already we are finding it very difficult. So gurutvam, it is guru bhakti. You have true Guru Bhakti. Whatever may you attain, your Guru Bhakti remains unshakable, unshaken. That is Garima. Then Prapti. Slowly you get grounded in your spiritual experience. It stays with you. More and more, whatever spiritual hold you have, you get steady there. That is Prapti. Now you can say, you feel safe. Oh, you have a place inside to go. So that is true Prapti, attainment. Then Prakamya. Prakarshena akamata, I will say that. It is with powerfully you give up desires. Desires, all scattering of the mind, disturbances are slowly given up. You have no desires. That Ishitva. Ishitva means full control of the body, mind, disciplining. It takes a lot of time. Taking control of one's prarabdha also in such a way that the person can abide. Vashitva. The senses are put in order. These are the 8 siddhis that we spiritually need. If we can have these 8 siddhis slowly, then they are real 8 great siddhis. Ashtamaha siddhi. Correct. So in the siddhi venum namukku. Ippadi irukkira siddhi irundha adu namukku ubhayogam. Spiritually it is useful. So that is. So Bhagavan here says that siddhamai yuḻaporuḻai therndiritthaļ. Knowing the ever attained Atma is great siddhi. Prapti. The real Prapti, what in the Ashtamaha siddhi, it is Prapti. And from that comes Mahima. From that comes Laghima. From that comes Anima. From that comes Prakamya. Everything. Ishitva, Vashitva, everything becomes complete by Prapti only. So, that and not this. Already we are living in a dream world, more dream. See, the modern science has supplied us so much siddhis. And all these siddhis are nourishing the dream. More and more they are making the dream powerful. More and more they will not try you to wake up, help you to wake up. They are constantly feeding the samsara. So that will not do. Swappanama siddhigaḻ-ē. Bhagavan says all these siddhis are mere dream. The greatest siddhi Bhagavan says is you are in Shuddha Chaitanya, you have a body. And you are seeing, you are hearing, you are smelling. This itself is a problem. And along with that, you have more siddhis means more difficulties. Seeing other world. These are all great difficulties. See, formerly, if we stay in Tiruvannamalai, we will know only Tiruvannamalai. Nothing else. To the distance you can walk, that place you might know. Nothing more. But when you have paper, newspaper, something more is known. When you have mobile, so much is known. More and more you know, all these places come to your mind. And some unnecessary news, something is happening. Hamas, Ukraine, I have not even heard these places. But now we think there is a war happening. Bhagavan said, where is war? It is in your mind. Second World War or war happening. Formerly, nobody will know. Everywhere some war will be happening. Inside your body, war is happening in many areas. If you ask some medical experts, they will say, these bacteria are having war. You cannot stop. It is always there. But the more and more your mind registers things, you will start knowing. Not only this knowledge, if other worlds are also known, that also becomes problem. You read Bhagavatam, you see, go to Devaloka and Indra is enjoying, and suddenly Hiranyakashipu comes there and attacks. So this problem will not end by going there also. For that only those stories are told. Don't imagine by death you will escape these problems. You go there, there also the same problem will come. It's more intensity. So, give greatest importance to the knowledge, Atma-jnanam, knowledge of the self, and become liberated, free here and now. Then you can have all these siddhis which we spoke. So, Bhagavan, let Bhagavan bless us that jnanam with all the siddhis, the true siddhis. We'll see that. Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala. Yato mamatma bhavasi tvameva, tato na vachyam mama kinchidasti, yathataveshtam kurvam tathaiva tvam atmanatham ramanam bhajami.